My live just did a little crash there, so we're back. Okay. There we go. Hello, hello. Oh, I would love that. The Met Gala would be so fun. What designer would I wear if I was going to the Met Gala? I really like old Versace or Dolce & Gabbana. Hi, Nick. Welcome, welcome. That would be my penultimate, my main designers that I would love. But thank you. I appreciate that. Hi, man. Welcome. Hello, welcome in. How's everybody doing today? But yeah, I love like vintage fashion. It's funny on this channel, if you guys are interested, I am going to start doing some fashion designing. I am married. I just got married this year. But I want to start designing some of my own clothes again because they just don't make clothes in the store like they used to, like with natural fibers. So I want to start to do some videos and like live streams where I'm sewing at the same time. So we'll see what I start to make. I have some fabric and stuff that I found, like old fabric that I wanted to make some dresses and things with. So we'll see what I end up putting together. But I want to make some of my own patterns and stuff like that too. So, oh my god, that's hilarious. It's actually kind of surprising that your name is Nicole and not like, you would think that usually would come from a guy, unless you are a guy, but. On the internet, you can be whoever you want to be and no one will know. It's so funny because like I present one way, and a lot of people, like I have a younger brother who grew up like in like prime video gaming time, so like I've heard things like that, like crazy things being said my entire life. So it doesn't really, and I like working and living in New York City, like you're exposed to so much crazy shit all the time that like it really doesn't, I'm really not shocked by much. I'm from the US. How about you? It's so funny because on some platforms I'm like, oh, like I'm from this specific area, but others it's like, okay, on YouTube it's so much more broad, where it's like, okay, where first what's the country, and then what region are you in? And I'm a northeasterner, as for the New York energy. Yeah, India, cool. I love that. I have a lot of Tarun, also a lot of folks from Asia that join in. I have a lot of people to visit. I actually had Madame Patani. She was my 6th grade French teacher, and I always like had a special place in my heart for her. Like she was a really good teacher, and she was very stern. So like a lot of kids like were nervous, but I always understood why she was stern, because she was a teacher. Like you have to be that way. But I remembered like after. Like we have like 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, which is like middle school. I actually have a postcard from her somewhere in my house that I have to find, but she moved back to India from the States because her husband got a better job over there and sent me a postcard that was from the Taj Mahal. So that's always been one of my top places to visit, and also visit like the 7 wonders of the world. Hindi, English, Punjabi, Sanskrit, Urdu. Yes, I know Urdu. I had a roommate in college that was from, well, she spoke Urdu, but I don't think what are the other countries that speak Urdu? I don't remember. That's so sad. I mean, it's over 10 years ago, so. Yeah, permanent resident. Yes. So give it the 7th wonder. I love that. Oh, that's so cool. I love that. Yeah, I know. Hindi, yeah, I was familiar with, but yeah, Urdu, I'm not sure, but yeah, there are some great places still in the U.S., but the U.S. is definitely going through its own kind of like growing pains right now. It's definitely like the American dream is not what it used to be, but it's definitely like things are kind of in our country like getting worse before they get better. So. Is it in Agra City? I don't know off the top of my head. Let me see. Sorry, I'm trying to open this email because I need to get to what was in the email to help me write my Substack article today. Bear with me one moment. Okay, there we go. Aw, thank you. No pride. What is it? What do you mean? Like ego pride? I like to be I don't know, I'm just a normal person, you know, like I like to take care of myself, but I also value kind connection with people, you know? Oh, Agra Taj Mahal, yeah. Yeah, so, oh, okay, so that's the city, I understand. That's so beautiful. Aw, yeah, beautiful. Attitude, yes, thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, it's nice, I mean, it's so warm comparatively. Hi, beautiful Deanna, how are you? Happy Tuesday, my girl. How have you done, or were you able to do Calendly yet, or not yet? No pressure. Just so that I make sure that I can help you get up and running as fast as you'd like for what's sustainable. But yeah, Taj Mahal is definitely on the list. Yeah, I understand. I love Gigi and Bella. I love their mom, Yolanda Hadid. She actually moved like not far from where I live. She's down in or like over in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. So Gigi's mom is also a really famous model. I want better, but I don't know why I don't do better. Listen, a day, like having a rough day doesn't mean that like every day is going to be tough. And I think the biggest thing, and it's like it's so funny because I know you know this, but we just reciprocity need like the pep talk. Like allow yourself to just say like, okay, I know the day feels this way. It's also the Mars Pluto conjunction in Aquarius today. So like I feel like even like I would look back and see the body keeps the score, right? If there's anything in like around this time of year, like late January, that's historically kind of been challenging for you in relationships and things along those lines. But definitely like I know April, I have kind of these like I'm like, oh, why do I feel off today? And some of like the harder things that have happened to me in my life have happened in April. So it's like, oh, okay, my body's just trying to like recalibrate. But yeah, a bad day doesn't mean that you're not doing better. Yeah, exactly. Oh, North Node. Yes. It's like there's so much piled there that it's kind of like maybe just, I wonder if it's almost like your body's kind of releasing some of that pressure to be like, oh, wow, like I'm alchemizing that sadness simultaneously, excuse me. Yesterday I felt so scattered yesterday. And just like with TikTok being down, like you can just kind of feel like that build of pressure with other things in the atmosphere. And so, I think we're kind of just collectively taking it one day at a time, for sure. Do you guys meet any models or celebs in the US? Yeah. So like, since I'm from New Jersey, there's a lot of celebrities that have moved to New Jersey or are from New Jersey. So Alex Earl is like the most recent, like major, like socialite, like what used to be called a socialite 15 years ago is now like an influencer. But like John Bon Jovi, Bruce Springsteen, Danny DeVito, who have I met that is like more famous? Jason Derulo. I saw Steve Aoki once in New York City, and Jared Padalecki. He's from Gilmore Girls and oh my gosh, Supernatural. Who else have I met that would like classify? Because of working in arts and music, I met more musicians than like models. But it's definitely like when you go to New York, like it's not, the island is small, so like there's more opportunities to meet people. It's not, if you could get to like this area or get to the city, someone is just in a restaurant next door, like it's more easy to just walk by people, but you don't expect it. A lot of people don't expect it. So like if you don't expect to walk past Lady Gaga in the street, you wouldn't expect, like your brain isn't primed to see her, if that makes sense. If you see a model like Candace Swainpole or Gigi, they're taller, so that makes more sense. But yeah, I keep talking about me giving my power away, but it's the outside validation thing, especially with, listen, and I still kiss frogs every now and again too, right? Like I said, and I think that the biggest thing is that your awareness is there, right? So, oh, you're so sweet. I love that, Nick. Thank you. That's how I care about making people feel good. Like I never want people to feel like uncared for in my presence. If it's like kind of like, even though we're on the internet and it's so broad, like I value it's like you've walked into the door of my restaurant or like my office and we're chatting in my office sort of thing. Because technically we are, just not physically there. Malibu, yes, Richard. I have not gone to Malibu, but I've not gone to Malibu. I've not been to California, but it looks beautiful. I would love to go to Malibu. But yeah, Deanna, like giving your power away and the validation. And listen, with your luminary placements too, and I know you had made a post about this, like it's okay to want validation in that way, like, or just to be like, yeah, like I'm making an impact, like in those ways. I feel that every time, like you feel comfortable to come to me with these things. For me, I'm like, oh, I'm doing, or Nick's comment now too, Tarun coming here every day, like you guys let me know and affirm that like I'm creating the energy that I want to put out into the world. And so not having, not putting such high expectations or pressure on yourself, I think is important too. It's good. I say, like high standards, low expectations, right? So it's like, okay, I have high standards for myself. You know that you're destined for greatness. Like that wouldn't be there if you weren't capable, but it's like just taking the time or knowing that there's a lot of people in the world right now. Hello. A lot of people in the world right now are kind of like all over the place. So it's like, just because like other people are all over the place doesn't mean that your people aren't going to find you in your way. So yeah, I would love that. That would be so cool. Yeah, if you call me, I will come to your country. I love that. I'm going to leave I like my little lo-fi playlist on right now. So it's like allowing myself to kind of be able to pour in. If I have music that I'm listening to really loud, I get distracted. It's a little bit of the ADHD brain thing, but I will have the live up after, so I'll be able to see your comments after. So I'll go and listen to it then as well. But I love that. I love guitar, love like any rock and roll. Yeah, when I come to the States, I'll meet you. Definitely. Yeah, you're a part of our lives, a special corner. Love from India. We love you guys from the heart. Aw, I love that. Thank you. I love you guys too. Thank you. What if you don't get a lot of validation? So, Jay, that's a good question. For me, like growing up, I also didn't get a lot of validation. So I'm figuring out or I figured out as I've gotten older, like how to feel validated myself, and that confidence of saying like, okay, like this feels good when I feel accomplished with something. So I think, when you're looking at starting small, like allowing yourself to feel the validation. A lot of people that I meet with, because I help a lot of people, Deanna included, with business strategy. And so, thank you, Sunny, welcome. So when I am, get out what you even do. I don't know what you mean. Like get out of it, get something out of it. But basically when we're looking at that like validation piece and what is our individual need? I think validation comes back to understanding like what your needs are, and your needs, all of our needs are going to shift over the course of our lifetime. So figuring out like whatever we need to do to feel good about ourselves, it can come first with allowing ourselves to figure out like, okay, I know that I need this from my job, or I need to, for a lot of people too, it starts off by figuring out like, I need XYZ amount of dollars to be able to get whatever it is that I need to keep a roof over my head. And then that's one series of validation. And then when I have that validation and I know that I've worked hard for this, then you can start to kind of grow from there. So I know, bro, it's so hard, bro. But thanks for the engagement. You're the reason that it helps me to get bigger and bigger on this app. But like people like that, like it's like irrelevant to me too. But it's people like that who get validation from people like me talking to them on the internet. Muslims do not believe in these superstitions. That's okay. Then why are you here? If you didn't believe in them, why am I showing up in your For You page? But yeah, so I think just, it comes back to a place of really being able to look at yourself and say like, okay, what phase of life am I at right now? And a lot of people, especially in the age of the internet, are like very concerned or feel that pressure from like I think of like the shorts and people posting like all these different things, like get ready with me to, go to New York City for the day. And you see all these different things that other people have. And it's like taking a second to kind of check offline or get offline. Love you too, Sunny. Get offline and think about what it is that you want as an individual, or really looking around and saying like, what am I grateful for? Starting with gratitude is always going to be something that helps you to grow from that kind of solid foundation. So how do I not get stressed? I know. Well, for me, like, I spent a lot of time in my early years being very stressed. So I think that I just knew that staying in a stress state all the time wasn't sustainable for me. So like for me, allowing myself to say, okay, I know that I don't want to live in this state of feeling stressed anymore. And then when I allow myself to say, I don't want to feel this, where is that stress coming from? And it could be multiple different angles, right? But like for me, like no one's going to control the way that I feel. I know that all the reasons that I feel stressed are also from external factors that I'm letting affect me. So how do I allow myself to adjust my feelings based on the environment that I'm in? For the number one thing is really assessing like where are you living and who are you living with. And I think from that, like that kind of basic need and who you're surrounding yourself with at work, which isn't like, you can't really do anything about that, right? Like your coworkers are your coworkers, but figuring out like, okay, how do you manage your expectations of how those areas are making you feel is important. So like that sounds a little cryptic, but more specifically, like if you're living with people who constantly stress you out in your living environment, like your parents or roommates or somebody else like that, you have to kind of sort that out first and just take one thing at a time. Like truly every single day has to be right now. Like allow yourself to just take it one day at a time, one step at a time, 1 hour at a time, to allow yourself to just focus on where your feet are. I always say that, like, be where your feet are, wherever your feet are planted. Like for me, I'm in this room with you guys right now, right? And then once I sign off, I go on to the next phase of my day. But I try not to get too worked up about what I'm doing in the future. And for me, that comes from like creating a little bit more of a stable routine. Hello. Welcome. Ah! My rock just fell on my coffee. I'll tend to that after. But coffee, to answer your question. Yeah, in my astrology studies, I found something cool. I didn't know the sun can never be in opposition for Mercury. Yes, so that's where the astronomy is helpful. So because Mercury is the first planet in our solar system, right? Like it's right there. And it's also your Venus can never be more than two signs in the away from your sun. So like if you're a Pisces sun, like me, for example, I think if I'm doing it the quick like recall correctly, like if you're a Pisces sun, your Venus can only be in like Pisces, Aquarius, or something else. So you'll see that kind of reflection too. I had a little like rock on top of my hourglass here, and I flipped it. It fell into my coffee. So I was drinking coffee. I have like 2 cups a day. Maybe that was a sign that I didn't need any more caffeine. But yeah, I love that, Deanna. I had to find that out too, like in my discoveries, because it's not something we think about like automatically. And it's like, oh wait, that actually makes sense with like the astrology coordination. Oh, Bali, I love that. Hello, Bali. A lot of people from the US travel to Bali. Yeah, in South Dakota. Is it because of all of the raids, or is it, Alex, like just in general? Yes, please make me coffee. Thank you. There was something sweet that you said earlier. I'm listening carefully to what you're saying because you're very, very sweet, pretty, and gorgeous. Thank you so much. You're so sweet. What if you don't have a lot of free time to calm down? No, I don't mind you asking at all. So you really have to know that you deserve to feel calm. Even if other people have made you feel like their reaction to what you're doing is your problem in a negative way. Like a lot of people, and I may be kind of like tapping in, Jay, to like how you grew up, but if you grew up in a situation where your parents like made you feel responsible for their emotions, it can really have an effect of how you feel into adulthood. So for me, like I also am a busy person, but I know that I deserve to go through my day in a way that allows me time to feel calm. So like, people are largely unimpressive, right? Like there's a lot of people that like the people that are causing other people to feel agitated are not people that I care to indulge in me validating their need to cause agitation by me being agitated because of them. right? So I will take moments of my day, thank you. I will take moments of my day and allow myself to say like, okay, I'm going to ground in this moment. I also love like when I feel really overwhelmed, I literally lay on the floor. Like I just lay like a zombie, like Shavasana, or it's called corpse pose in yoga. And so allowing myself to just have that time, it's what it he needs like, yeah, it's the nervous system regulation is like that kind of vocabulary word, because a lot of like millennials, elder millennials, I think Gen X is the one that's right above millennial too. Like we're the ones who really had to learn to undo what a lot of our parents' generation didn't get, who lived through like, and we've lived through a lot too as millennials and Gen Xers, but there's a lot of, we have to see it as important for us. So like allowing yourself to find those moments of calm have to be a priority for you. And it's okay if those 5 minutes that you take to practice regulating, and listen, it's probably going to take a little bit more than 5 minutes sometimes, but if you can just remind yourself that you deserve to feel and come back to that place of calm, it's important. And it doesn't mean like, listen, like there are things that have happened to me that are particularly upsetting, and I allow myself to say like, okay, I'm allowed to be sad about this thing, but I don't have to crash and, you know, burn everything else around in my life because I feel upset about this too. And I think, you know, it's different with the way, like as a woman, we're kind of taught to deal with those things in a different way than men are traditionally too. So that also adds a layer of like even feeling comfortable, or like you're allowed to have that ability to be calm. Like it's kind of like violence for men or agitation for men in a lot of ways is kind of like celebrated, but it's not like you want a man or to be a man or feel like strong in your masculinity, but also you know, the way the antidote to that isn't like external like violence, unless it's channeled in like boxing or something like that, you know, like having a healthy outlet for everything for all of us, men and women, is important. So I hope that helped. Yeah, meditation essentially, but even for me, like even it's a variation of meditation. Hi Ayan, welcome. But not I find that when you're somebody that's used to, I'm from the US, used to feeling really overwhelmed or anxious, and there aren't a lot of times in the day to relax, it's a matter of like dropping into meditation and turning on an audio meditation isn't helpful right away. Like even just like what I usually, whenever I feel agitated, and especially, thank you, there's people in my area that are agitating, like I would just walk away and I physically had to remove myself from the conversation. Yeah, absolutely. I hope it helped, and I feel for you, but you know, just give yourself the grace of time to get it right. And the worst thing that you can do, and I find that generally speaking, men do it more than women, but is not beat yourself up about whatever happened in the past. You can't go back and change the past, even if there were things that you wish, you know, you could go back and change. Hi, Virgo. But, you know, allow yourself to just say, okay, I have this moment in front of me today and I choose to do differently. I can't feel bad about anything that I did in the past, but I can choose to do better right now. And right now is all I've got in this moment. So I might as well make it, you know, the best that I can for you and, you know, anyone that you care to share your loving kindness with. Yeah, Virgos, I feel for you guys. I love a good Virgo. You guys can, your anxiety can run rampant sometimes, stomach issues 101. But I love a good organized Virgo. You guys just speak to my Pisces soul, and really are really good for grounding. It's very much of a yin and yang. Pakistan, yes, hello. Yeah, what language is spoken the most in your country? English in the US, English, and then it's closely followed by Spanish as well, just because we share the border with Mexico, so there's a lot of Mexican influence here, and then yeah, I'd say, but English is the first for the US. Yeah. But yeah, let me know if there's any other questions. Yeah, I feel for you. That's what we were just talking about. Like sometimes, like if you tell a Virgo or somebody who's really anxious to meditate, you're like, oh no, like that's a lot. Oh, a Capricorn, happy belated birthday. Yeah, Capricorn, it makes so much sense because you feel so deeply, but like people don't realize how much you actually feel, but you want yourself to just have fun. Like you want to be able to just feel lighter, but it's like that Saturnian, Saturn is a planet of discipline that rules over Capricorn. So that heaviness is like really felt. And I feel like Atlas, like wearing the weight of the world on your shoulders also feels like appropriate Yeah. I do like burgers. I do. But it's so funny because like it's so American, right? Like the we were talking about that yesterday, like the cheeseburgers, and how it's like such a stereotypical American food, but it really is. I love a good cheeseburger. I'm a big like protein person. I love my protein. Yeah. Taurus, hello Taurus. I love your bright orange background with your blue shirt. It looks so nice. I feel better. Thank you. Of course, Deanna, ask me anything tomorrow, and I need to go over what I want to talk about. Absolutely. Hi, Straight Diddy. Welcome. That's actually hilarious. How can you just relax? So it's going to take time. Thank you, Nick. It takes time. I think that if I'm intuiting correctly, because I'm also an intuitive, right? Virgo, Evie, I love that. Hi, beautiful Virgo. And we're talking about anxiety, so very appropriate for you, Evie, as well as a beautiful Virgo, too. When you're trying to just relax, you have to not put so much pressure on the relaxing. So it's that energy of like, oh, like if you're really, usually for people who ask that question, like Jay, Evie, my Virgos, L or Ellie, it's you put so much pressure on trying to get it right that allowing yourself to just like say, okay, I'm just gonna sit here. And I find too, Jay and Evie or any of my Virgos, you guys, or Deanna too, you may find it helpful to set a timer on your cell phone to say like, just for these 15 minutes, I'm really gonna allow myself to just veg out and relax as much as possible. So it will take time to allow yourself to flex that muscle of saying like, okay, every day at, from 6:30 to 6:45 after I'm done with work, I just spend time in my car, whatever environment creates the most peace for you. So, Capricorn. Yes, Capricorn. Yes, I was, so Capricorn and Virgo. No, I know. But it's helpful. Same energy applies. Yeah, exactly. High strung. I didn't even think I could meditate if I tried. Exactly. That's where it's like for a Virgo or Capricorn, like kind of checking something off the list. I got it as a gift. It was like 15 from on Amazon. I got it as a gift from one of my subscribers, Drea. Yeah, a bath is perfect too. Because you and I, Virgos and Pisces, were sister signs. So making your relaxation something that you have to, yes, Bubble, something that you have to check off of your to-do list actually is helpful, because if you are somebody who's super organized and like need that structure, like a Capricorn or a Virgo is, like you need that structure, making it like something that you have to do that like will flow into the control freak energy. I'm a Pisces. So I'm a little bit flowy. That's why I feel like ancient. I'm 32, but I'm about to be 32, but that's why like I feel like I know so much, even though I'm like comparatively young. You're so sweet. Yes, Evie. Aw, I'm happy to. Maybe I should make like a little audio guides or something like that. Hi, Cindy, you're welcome. Something that can kind of help for the regulation. But I'm here every day, Monday through Thursday, from 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern. So Leo, I love that. Hi, C. We're just doing a little chat about regulation. What do I have to do to meet you? I know, I'm such an introvert. Once I after the winter, we'll figure out a way to connect at some point in the future. I do. It's a helpful way for me to just like help. I want to understand people, not subjectively, but objectively, basically meaning that for me, like I know what it's like to have people try to tell me who they think that I am, versus allowing me to really understand what makes me me. And I never like people to feel like they're bullied or attacked for being different, but just the ways that if they're good people. Argentina, I love that. Welcome. It's another way that we can kind of lean in. So when you find out, Jay, you let me know, because I also still have that problem. I was just talking and I was saying like that kind of energy, right? Allowing myself to relax before bed, or when I'm saying like, I say my prayers before bed, and well, sometimes when I'm saying my prayers, I'll get overwhelmed because if I'm praying about things that are particularly, a struggle, or it's like a struggle for people that I'm praying for, I'm praying for something for them to feel better about, I'll start to get myself like upset. So I was like, I have to figure out like what is the time that maybe I should pray in the morning when I'm awake and it won't affect my sleep. But all that to say, not allowing yourself to just say like, I'll there's nothing I can do about it, I'll think about it tomorrow. There's nothing I can do about it, but I'll think about it tomorrow. That can be a helpful way to just allow yourself to you're not trying to be like, oh my God, like now you're stressing out, and Virgos will understand too, or any of you guys that are also overthinkers. Like, I am so stressed out about like trying to not think about something so that I can go to sleep, that it's much easier to give yourself a little bit more grace and say like, okay, I know, brain, that you're trying to help me create a plan of attack to handle this thing and to be disciplined, but I'll allow myself to just kind of place it on the shelf and tend to it tomorrow when I have fresh eyes and a fresh perspective. So that's the way that it helps me to kind of like talk myself off the metaphorical ledge and not feel as stressed out. I did watch a Titanic. Yeah. Yes, I know. I love that. Yes, I know. I have my little water here. I will in a little bit. Yeah, it feels like you can connect with new people when they have such the same interests. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And we're all just people at the end of their day that want to be understood by other people, in some comparison, or, just at least want to understand ourselves better so that we can be less judgmental. I know I have. Well, I will usually talk for like, the longest I've talked straight through is like 4 hours at a time. But thank you. Thank you for wanting to take care of me. But yeah. I do believe in ghosts. I do. I've had a couple experiences. I believe enough to not play with a Ouija board. That's how I feel. A medium. Oh, I love that. That's amazing. I know. I'm an amnivert. Like, I enjoy, obviously, like a true introvert is somebody that like you won't like see them ever even on the internet. Like, I do enjoy connection with my good people like you guys that are here today. But I need my introspective time. Like, I do need time to kind of just like process my day, things like that. So Capricorn. Oh, I'm all the Capricorns today. I love that. When do you know you need to just don't talk to people because of stress? So, I love that, Capricorns. Yay. I love that. Listen to my story. Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy to. Talking to each other lowers down stress and share feelings, makes us lighter in the heart. Absolutely. It is, Nathan. Yes. Whenever your month and day of your birthday, I'll be able to tell, if you don't know it. But so for me, it's like I'm a Pisces. I know all the Capricorns. I love like bubble pop, like my beautiful bubbly Leo. I know, I won't drown now. But not talking to people who cause you stress. So it depends. Like some people that will like come in, like there's always trolls on the internet, right? Oh, I love that. Sometimes I'll just have a little fun with them. But I usually don't stay for long unless like sometimes people are like mentally unwell. Oh, we have Sun Moon Synastry. So I see the internet is like Times Square in New York City, where it's like if someone's like, your skin is pink, you're blue right now. Thank you, Lucian. And you know that you're not blue. Like, you're like, okay, that's nice. Like, have a nice day. I'm not going to let somebody who's like, I know myself. So like, I'm not going to let somebody who's trying to tell me something about myself ruin my day, because I know who I am as a person, right? So that confidence is important. If it's somebody that's like a family member, and I was talking about this with Vasu yesterday, who's in my lives often, and how if it's somebody that's like your immediate family, like your family, and I'll talk about Capricorn in a minute after I finish answering Jay's question. I love that we have Sun Moon Synastry as a Pisces Moon, Pisces Sun. But when you're somebody that like you're struggling to deal with a family member that you want to keep in your life, but they cause you a lot of stress, you want to be able to just understand that, like, if you don't live with them, like, or if you do live with them, you want to just, again, walk away from the situation and figure out what you can do to minimize any kind of conflict that you know cannot be resolved. So it's like, there's a quote that we say a lot in the US it's a variation of like, the definition of insanity is going back and doing something again and again the same way and expecting a different result. So you don't want to keep going back to the same person, especially as people get older. Like once people get, a little bit into their later years, statistically they're probably not going to change. Hi Lucy, oh, I'm so excited to see you. How are you, Lucy? If you guys also my Virgos, actually this would be helpful to do any kind of tapping meditation. You guys, if you love me, you will love Lucy as well. So if you want to give her a follow, she has a great YouTube channel that she's been growing. So yeah, likewise, it's so nice to see you. It's so funny because I was going to say, like, Lucy and I know each other in real life, and technically we don't, but I feel like we do because of our shared in-person connection. Yeah. We were talking about anxiety and how to deal with anxiety, so it was such a perfect time for you to pop in. Yeah, my dad is a Virgo too. We can relate to that, right? It's so funny. You gonna pay for her flight? Yes, I would love to come to your country. April 17th. Yes. Yes, you are. Yes. I was like the 17 kind of energies. So yeah, I think I did art. Welcome back. Do you ever just don't want to talk to people? All the time. Like, I'm on now because I want to talk to people, but I'm not on when I don't want to talk to people. Like, truly, when I'm not online or in a session with somebody, I do like one-on-one meetings, I am silent. I have my husband and we obviously will talk, but like, other than that, like, I don't seek out. My brain needs a lot of time to have space. Like any creative person needs a little bit of space. Sagittarius. Oh yeah. So let me start with Capricorn. Thank you, Sue. Thank you for the reminder. And then Sagittarius. So Capricorn, you guys do have a lot of weight on your shoulders. And so Sagittarius, you guys want to be like the star of the zodiac. I see that a lot. I do have Capricorn friends because Capricorns like know how to get shit done. Like you guys know how to like do the work. Like you're not afraid of hard work, but you also want to be able to live a little bit of a lighter life. So understanding as a Capricorn the heaviness and the discipline that life requires for if you're an ambitious person or you want success also comes with wanting to allow yourself to have more of that freedom of you can work hard but play just as hard at the same time. But it's hard. I feel like Jay too, allowing yourself to enjoy like, a dinner out every once in a while, or remember that you're working so hard so you can also enjoy the fruits of your labor is very important too. Yeah, I see. That makes so much sense, Lucy. I love that. Yeah. Which part are you confused? But yeah, Sagittarius. So my cousin is December 15th. I have a lot of beautiful Sages in my life. There's a lot of Sages here now too. So with Sagittarius, you guys, I always say, are like similar to Leo and Cancer. I feel like you guys are similar in terms of wanting to just feel like you're appreciated for whatever you bring to the table. Like you're honestly, like, I feel like Sagittarians, you relate by sharing your own experiences, and you have to always kind of set the prerequisite, like, hey, I'm not sharing to just dump on you how cool I think that I am, but like, because I'm trying to relate to you. And I also want to feel like acknowledged in the conversation. Because if a Sagittarius isn't getting that reciprocity, like, and you're not aware of what you're in it for, what you need out of a situation, you're also like, it's like Zara Larson is a Sagittarius. A lot of famous people are Sagittarians. So, Brooklyn, I love that. I used to work in Brooklyn, in downtown Brooklyn by the Barclays Center. I don't know if my chart makes sense. Yes. So your sun sign is just one piece of the pie. Deanna, if you're still here, this is also very helpful in terms of us helping you with your business, by the way. So we'll talk about this maybe tomorrow, actually. Yeah, I forgot what I was saying. Sorry. Oh, but your sun sign is just one piece. So if Capricorn is your only placement, you want to see what the other signs of the zodiacs, or what other, your moon sign, your Mercury sign, your Mars sign, you may have a heavier concentration in another sign. So that may create a little bit of a different energy. So I don't even have one. Yeah, I like astro-seek.com. And then I use another chart generator that's in the show notes of my videos or on my page that is called a human design chart. So if you plug in your information there, I can help you with that too. Sorry, I'm going to go back and try to keep up with the comments here. But my girlfriend said I'm not emotionally connected in mind, only physical pleasure. You may have an Aquarius moon or think very logically. I'm only adventurous and wild, but I don't like emotional connection or deep talks, no drama. Yeah, and that's like Sagittarius. Like, again, you want to have fun. You're here for a good time. Sometimes a long time, but for a good time. Anxiety is nothing because you become what you think. And as your disposition then, Nick, tells me that you're not naturally an anxious person. But for people who are naturally anxious, like they do have that fear. And maybe you grew up in like depending, like maybe you had more opportunities for stability. A lot of people have anxiety, didn't have a certain amount of stability in their life or had particularly hard things that happen to them that can cause that kind of anxiety. Where was I? Let me make sure. Yeah, Sagittarius. Yeah, Lucy. It's like knowing what you're in it for. Like, okay, I have this meeting in this way in this place. It's like, okay, I'm going to prepare for this show. And I think, Lucy, it's even a great way to like even approaching YouTube. Like, it's like, what's the persona? Like, and I've said this to a lot of business owners that I work with. Like, remember that like I am Brenna working on Brenna Keeley human design, but like you're Lucy working on EFT with Lucy, but it doesn't have to be so enmeshed. So it's like, and that's not fake, it's just compartmentalization. And you may realize you're doing it already without even consciously realizing it. How do you just think about yourself? I think a lot about other people. I do too. I mean, I care deeply about like humanity as a whole right now, especially just where we're at in the US. But for me, it's like, I know that I wasted and I lost a lot of my childhood and my teenage and early 20s worrying about other people in a way that was detrimental. And I lost out on a lot of time. So for me, it's like, I know that I have to pour from an overflow. I can't pour from a deficit. So for those of you that are like me, who really care about being there for other people like you, Jay, it's a matter of allowing yourself to say, like, okay, there are certain things that I know that I need to do to replenish myself so that I can focus on pouring out from my overflow into the people that I care for. You know, I can't be a good wife to my husband if I don't allow myself to also have to do other things that fill me up too. Let me go. Sorry, I'm going back. Oh yeah, Lucy, I don't know if you saw someone was asking what if EFT is. Hi, Kimberly. Oh my gosh, I love this. Can you start DJ? Let me know too. And I would love to see you DJ on live stream. I would listen to that all the time. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Oh, 15 men. Yeah. It's okay that made you uncomfortable too. Yeah, it is tough to separate. Yeah, Bubbles is giving you good advice. I supplement that. Are there more businessmen or job seekers in the States? Job seekers for sure. The economy is rough for a lot of people, especially in business right now. Like, it's been really hard for people to find work right now. I am working on my laptop, but right now I'm chatting to you guys more. Oh, snacks for weeks, yes. As a Sagittarius man, I don't know if I'm crazy. I love women when their body count doesn't affect me. Yeah, as long as she doesn't cheat. Yeah, everyone has their own personal thing too. Yeah, let me know. Hi, Lexi? Aw, Lexi, Megan, forgive me. Aw, thank you, Joshua. Oh, I love that, Joshua. Hi. Joshua, you remind me of like a really cool like person who would perform at like Burning Man. I don't know if that relates to your vibe, but you feel like that, like sunshine. What do you do for work, if you don't mind me asking? So I basically, if I had to condense myself down, am a spiritual strategist. So I do a lot of spirituality. I do particularly focus on one spiritual discipline called human design and help people to learn how to there's two kind of camps. People either come to me to really get to know themselves and build their confidence and figure out how they can do that for who they are as an individual, or they've already done that and they're looking to now build a business and really being able to grow their businesses as an individual. Thank you, Lucian. You're so sweet. So that kind of both veins. And then obviously I do content creation too. How do you make yourself count? It's knowing that you deserve it. I think if I had to in the types of questions for you, Jay, like really just, and even start to poke around here on YouTube, like how to build self-confidence, how to remember that you also are deserving, you know, of whatever it is that you want, you know, like God, the universe didn't place those desires on your heart for no reason. So you deserve to feel like you count as well. And I'm sorry that there were people in your life that made you feel otherwise, like you weren't important enough to count. Yeah. Thank you, Nick. Yeah. I don't know what you mean, like request. Oh, Leo. I love that. I love a good Leo. I love a good Leo. You guys are in, I'm an Aquarius rising, so I have a lot of Aquarius placements, and Leo is the sister sign to that. So we're yin and yang. Like Leo and Aquarius placements are very similar. I love a hyper Leo. Do you have any advice on what to do if there's a spirit that won't leave even after you've asked it to? So I honestly, I'm big on a couple things. So depending on your religious preferences, you could go the vein of holy water, asking for help from your church, or I also use two things when I'm doing any kind of cleansing, and being firm, like remembering that most spirits were just people who you need to have boundaries with. If you wouldn't let somebody open the door, like a live person, open the door to your car while you're driving, being like, listen, you had your time. I'm trying to enjoy mine too. Go over there. I also use sage and then Palo Santo, but you don't want to burn sage alone. You want to burn something after it. So making sure, because sage is a cleanser, a complete cleanser, and then Palo Santo, you want to carve something else in. But I also like crosses. I have a lot of rosary beads from my grandmother that are here. I have a little setup space. This is kind of my, I'll show you guys, my space for spiritual protection from my ancestors. I have some, where's my finger? Some photos up here of my grandparents and down here as well. So those calling on your ancestors too that have crossed over is helpful as well. But yeah, how do you get into that? I want to do content creation. I really just like 9-to-5 work. I do AI work online for now. I love that. And that's a step in the right direction. So the first thing I would figure out is like, what variation, like what do you see other people doing that you're like, oh, I would love to do that variation of content creation. I would only focus, if I were you, on YouTube right now. I also recommend like figuring out like any kind, using what you have. So like if you don't have a big budget to be the creator that's buying like certain hair clips and everything's pink, figure out what it is that you can do and what you can share as a content creator in your corner of the world with what you have that's helpful to other people. So even if it's just like you only have your desk that you like and that's what you find aesthetic, you can talk a lot about discipline and motivation. YouTube is a huge portal for that. That it's just really understanding like what excites you the most. People are really craving people who are excited to talk about the things that they want to talk about. So for me, it was a matter of, I was also working a 9-to-5 job as I was building my spiritual business because I was excited about that, but I didn't have enough money, or like I didn't come from a wealthy family that could pay for me to like have my apartment and work on my business. So I had to work. I worked in car insurance for a while. And I also did arts and music management. So when I was working in car insurance was when I was also helping myself to build my spiritual business, as I was also leaving arts and music management because I didn't like it anymore. It wasn't as fun for me. Oh yeah, bye Bubble. It was nice to see you. After listening to the audio you made, I know for sure now it's time for a video live set. I love that. I love that. I'm so excited. That's so exciting. Congratulations. Yeah, thank you guys. But yeah, I love that. I love that. I'm so excited for you, Kim. I love watching, I love deep house music. I feel like it's really good somatically for the vagus nerve. And humming and anything like that. Like even just watching your stories the other day with all of it was like reggaeton, like the set that you were doing and it was like tropical. I love that. Like I listen to that all the time. So I'm excited. I'll make sure I subscribe to you. Kimberly Ramirez TV. Okay. I have a couple people to subscribe back to today. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Yes, I do love a hyper Leo. I do. Oh, India. Birthplace of astrology. Yes. There's fakers. Yeah. The real Baba. I got her. That's so cool. Yeah. It's so. Oh, Aquarius Venus. No, Nick, I'm not ignoring. I'm trying to, the chat is going too fast for me. Well, it's fast I like, but I'm trying to take one person at a time because I like to share my attention. How do you just have time to do stuff like hang out with friend, talk to mom and stuff? I just make time for it, you know, and I'll pick one thing a day. Like one day I'll call my friend, one day I'll call my cousin, you know, and I don't let myself feel like I have to get everything done in one day. Yeah. Thank you, son. Yeah, I'm not trying to ignore anyone. Let me see. Like done, thank you. Pictures. Yes, Ireland. I love that. Thank you, Joshua. I appreciate that. You're inspiring me. I don't come from money also. I come from a very poor family. Yeah. Oh, I'm happy to. Yay, snooze. Congrats. Awesome. I hope you get it. Enjoy it. Yes, the job. Hi, Unc. Welcome. No, I love that. I think I'm caught up in the chat now. But yeah, it was going fast. Maybe I'll try to, I have a dual monitor set up here, so figure out how to get the chat on both sides. But yeah, I think that because of how, listen, every generation, our parents, our grandparents, our great-grandparents, I was just telling the story yesterday that my great-grandmother was supposed to come over on the Titanic, and her sister had a baby, so she ended up staying back in Ireland and then came over later, actually in April of whatever the year was that the Titanic sunk. And how like the course of history would have changed so much so if you know, if she was on the Titanic. And so, you know, coming from, like, my family has really tried every generation from my great grandmother until now to like do better. So allowing myself, yeah, I know, right? No rocks in the water. But I'm trying to really live out the legacy of knowing that I'm in a place where like it's not as bad. Like my family was very, very, very poor in Ireland in 1921. Thank you. Very poor in Ireland, and doing the things that they didn't get to do, you know. Thank you, Joshua. I appreciate that. I'll make sure I connect with you too. I'm the amazing, energetic Joshua. And then J4K. Okay. I'm trying to make sure, because for whatever reason, it doesn't let me click on it and subscribe on the chat. I have to do it after. And I also created a community space where we could talk to each other on YouTube now. I do have Patreon as well that you can join for free. Deanna's there, Nicole is there. So we also do a little bit of chatting there as well if you guys are interested in that too. I have a free and a paid subscription. But thank you, Joshua. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I think like knowing that it's not about, there's a lot of people now because of social media that are, especially my younger crowd of folks, like my teenagers, and Ellie, I'll answer your question in a moment, who are really nervous about being seen trying. And so being seen trying is a, I don't know what you mean request, where, because if you can't, I don't think you can request, do you mean subscribe? I'm sorry, I don't know what you mean. The only thing you need to type up is the amazing E. Okay, I love that. That's so perfect for a Leo. But yeah, like a lot of people are afraid to be seen trying. So allowing yourself to figure out however you need to show up for yourself and not be ashamed of whatever it is that you have. Like there's a quote by one of the first ladies here in the US that it goes, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. And I really live by that. But Elle, so do you have any good advice for a beginner medium? So if you haven't already taken like a mediumship 101 class, I do recommend it. I took a medium 101 class with somebody in like, that was like a virtual class. You could do them virtual over Zoom. And a lot of it just comes down to like, I also, especially because you're a Virgo that has a very active mind, I would start to write down and ask yourself, like, is this a message that or something that I'm feeling, or is this a message that I'm getting from somebody else? So like, for example, I had Melissa, who's from New Zealand, that was here, and she was like, I lost my friend Travis, and that's all she said. And I was like, oh, Travis, like I got this visual of him. He had no shirt on. He had the red lifeguard. Shorts on. Yes, Vedic astrology. I want to study more Sidereal Vedic as well. That's on my list of things to study. But since I'm in the Western world, the Western mapping for most of my clients that are in the West, that I deal with 101, I use that more so. but for me, it's like I get visuals a lot, L. So I would, or L or Ellie, I'm sorry. But for me, it's knowing and understanding like what your clairs are. So there's some people like I'll have clairsentience where I'll just feel something that's like not my own feeling. Or I love that. Yes. So helpful. Like as a Virgo, my cat's chasing the animals outside. You're used to having an overactive mind and you're ruled by Mercury. So if you're allowing yourself to automatically write, that's a perfect use of being like, okay, what word is that? Sometimes I'll do that too. And I'll be like, okay, name started with the letter A, things along those lines, and just start to play with it. I recommend like anybody that will let you practice on them is a great person to kind of have in your orbit. Like allow yourself to be a beginner and know that it doesn't have to be perfect. Ironically, which is very hard for a Virgo, the less you try to control it, right, and do any kind of automatic writing or talking, that can really help you to be a better medium, because you don't have to ever be worried about getting it wrong if your heart comes from a place of purity and wanting to help. You just want to make sure that you're doing it for the right reasons and wanting people to feel better too. Amazing things and terrible things. Oh no. I mean, I think knowing ourselves and seeing all parts of ourselves objectively is important, and listen, it's like when we know the shadows, we can work with them better, and knowing like what parts of ourselves we need to tend to as well, but yeah, let me know if that helped, Ellie, or if you guys have any more questions about that. I'm going to start to write a little bit of my Substack at the same time for tomorrow, my article. No graphic today or no picture, no collage today. Okay. Yeah, there's lots of spirits in my house and they're so sweet. Oh yeah, I think just having like the boundaries. Like I always feel like they stay at the doorway unless I allow them to come in. Like, and it's very telling of my personality too. Like I'm nice, but I also am firm on where I stand. So allowing myself to like, I have that with spirit where I'm like, okay, I'm trying to sleep right now. I'm trying to actually work. I'm still a human. I'm not on the other side. Those things are important as well. Just good boundaries with spirit. Is it true that a lot of people with Mercury in the 12th house placement in their natal chart are more intuitive? Yes, absolutely. I see that often because you can put words to the unseen. It's also what makes you a really interesting and amazing musician. So it's like you will have like I imagine if you're a songwriter too, Kimberly, like your words are very poetic. Like the languaging is like, how do you say it sexier versus literal or on the nose, unless the song's energetics require being literal and on the nose. So it like really allowing yourself to kind of play with that is important. But the 12th house is like, I love too that it also creates an energy of like anytime somebody that has placements in the 12th house that are generally well aspected, it's now a lot of people can pull the wool over your eyes. Like it's very easy for you to see if somebody's a good person, ulterior motives, which is why like you think of the intuitive and psychicness plays into that. And again, the Jupiterian luck that's on your side too. I don't know, Stray Kids. Is that music? I haven't had Dosa. I haven't had either of those. But I'm excited to. Maybe I haven't, I just didn't know the name. That's also possible. Joshua, yeah, sad facts. I wished a bad heart condition on my man. Oh, my man, on the man my ex-girlfriend left me for, and it came true. Oh my gosh. I did that with my aunt 15 years ago, but I did it wholeheartedly. Very sad because that's just one of the three things. Yeah. Hi, Bryn. I'm sorry. Just so you know. Oh yeah, I'm not so much a DMs person because once I'm off here, like I'm off. I have other people that I'm connecting with too, so don't take it personally. If I don't answer, I'm not a huge DMs person because again, remember I said I'm extroverted, introverted, so I need my introverted time. Um, but yeah, it's crazy like manifesting, and people don't realize like how powerful the mind can be, you know, and energetic spiritual protection is a very real, very big, important thing that a lot of folks need to make sure that they beef up on. Don't take it personally, Nick. I try to, because I have a lot of people to be responsible for, you know, in a healthy boundaried way, but I have a lot of people. I have a call in an hour right after we get off here, to talk with one of my clients about her new job that she's working on, and I have to help her. So I have a lot of people that I manage. So don't be upset. But we have this portal to talk to. I love hearing this. I do songwriting sometimes, especially when I'm feeling a bit down. Yes, I love that. And keep those, I'm sure you do, but like keeping those somewhere where you can go back to them if you feel like we were talking about being creatively blocked. I have to go back and read your email and your DM, but it was funny because the one thing that my eye went to was the gallbladder. And one of my close friends just had his gallbladder removed. And so it was like just funny timing, like in talking about that, but I have to pour into, to respond to you more thoughtfully. I just think my mind is powerful. Yeah, but it's so sad because only negative things, like that work, and they must have had an effect on my mind and heart before. Yeah. Hi, Nikki. How are you? Hi, Nikki. Yes, thank you. Sorry, Brent. Yeah. If you have a bowl on the table and tap the table with the right force and right frequency, the bowl will jump to you. Oh yeah. I love that. That's so cool. That's called, what's the word for, there's a word for that, right? It's very like, I think of not Doctor Who, Doctor Strange. No, you're sweet. I appreciate that. I don't know if my husband would appreciate that, but thank you. Yeah, I was gonna say Josh and Bryn, I feel like you guys have like similar energetics, like you're aware of like the way that things work in the world. But what was I gonna say? Oh, but being aware of like the mind body kind of connection, I think like knowing that like there's different kinds of like that's a variation of like magic or Josh, right? Like magic or intention. And so whenever you work with any kind of dark magic, it does actually, even if it's not like kind of thinking of it that way, I'm using it as a blanket term, but whatever, you know, you feel you relate to the most, the body keeps the score, right? And going back to that. Yeah, absolutely. And so like keeping that, like knowing that everything has its karma, right? Like it's alchemy. So I feel like alchemy, there's a really good book on alchemy that's by, it's like that old, Scholastic, it's DK is the initials, but they have a really good book that you can get about alchemy, or like intro to alchemy. So what's that? There you go. So understanding like alchemy and like how to alchemize things and making sure that you're like pulling any kind of like negative energy out too, and using like working with the light. I find, especially as a Leo, like you are literally light incarnate, but if you get too close to the fire, you're gonna get burned, right? Yeah, I feel like and forgive me because obviously we just met today, I feel like you may, especially as the amazing energetic Josh, you may already do these things already, but it's just what's coming to mind as we're chatting. But yeah, I think that like a lot of the more like the witchier people, or the like actual people that work with any kind of like witchcraft or something that I've spoken to, they always talk about like, and I know a couple people that were practicing like darker magic that then had children, and they were like, yeah, it takes too much like physically out of you. It takes too much out of you. I love that. Yes, you're right. It's like that kind of like, you know, when you go to like a fun resort or like Cirque du Soleil and they have like the fire breathers, I feel like you would be so good at something like that. That's so fun. Like any kind of entertainment. I know a Sagittarius, a Leo, my Sagittarius and my Leos in the chat too. Oh, thank you, Bailey. I'm sorry I didn't see that. I'm trying to go back and make sure that I talk to everyone. Sorry, Nick. Okay, so you're just a charlatan. I don't know what that means. Oh, charlatan. Okay, thanks for nothing. I have fire shorts. Oh, it's been a while. That's so cool. Yes. I love that. Yeah, allowing the to work with you're allowing yourself to work with the element of your sun sign is also really fun. Being able to work with that kind of energy. Yeah. But it's so funny. It's so funny, like the people take things in this space like so seriously, And I think a lot of it is like remembering that we're human beings that are meant to be here having fun, you know, and realizing that there's like a lot more fun that you can have. I don't know, what the fuck is a Jackson? Example A. Being able to have fun with it, right? Like, it's not, life doesn't have to be that serious all the time. Allowing yourself to play with it is important. Okay, but I'm gonna flip this for a second. I'm gonna lock in for 5 minutes just to be able to finish this article that I've been wanting to write. And then I will pivot back to the chat in a moment in between. There we go, okay. So this is a 15-minute hourglass timer. I will check the chat now and again. Oh, I love that. That's so cool. Okay. So let's pause for a moment. Okay. And then I will pivot back after I finish this. So locking in. I'll take a look in a second. Yeah. Halfway through that timer. My son sent her, you're so sweet. Yeah. Yeah, I know. People just need attention. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that sounds good, Tarun. Yes. I love that. Yeah, I do like little co-working sessions on my live stream. So I pause in between and just do a little bit of work. So that's what I'm doing simultaneously. I want to make sure that I am getting this out to people before tomorrow. But yeah, and like it's so funny because I was writing about that too. With people, like, also it's interesting because the way that people talk about things on this platform is a little bit different because like I'll say like Takeshi to Keshi or T. I'll just call you T. Like some people in other countries are more direct, so it's more confrontational than like we would necessarily say in the US, but like it's like regardless, I think that religion is a really complicated way that we created different really specific ways for people to talk about the same source energy. So if like what for my friends that are Muslim versus my friends that are Christian that follow Jesus as a disciple, it's like we're talking about the same things. But like what should happen, right, if people are actually who they say they are and like a true Christian or, you know, really wanting to, your core always should be the embodiment of love. So for a lot of people, you know, yeah, at one point yes, exactly. We're under the one roof. Exactly. So, you know, it's like, there's enough people fighting, like having a lot of people are too afraid to stand up for the people they're supposed to stand up to in their day to day. And it's easier to bring it onto the internet. And yeah, exactly. It's easier to bring it onto the internet and start discord and fighting with people. You guys can keep that on TikTok. Those are people I've brought to that app more so in the US for those of you who could go there. But it's like, yeah, for me, it's like more about making people feel seen and heard and cared for. But yeah, it's less to me about individual religion, and more about spirituality as a whole. And I think a lot of people get afraid about the things that they don't know instead of taking the time to research, you know, and be a little bit more educated. And not just about their very specific worldview, but having a little bit more of an open-minded worldview to the way that different people are. You know, I would never go to somebody that was Buddhist and tell them that they're wrong or be cruel like that. You know, for somebody that spent time in a certain area to, you know, be a good person. I think as long as you're a good person that has good motives and good ways that you show up in the world, like that means something, you know, for all of us when we get to the other side, whatever awaits us. So on this, but yeah, I think, you know, I think coming into people's spaces and starting off with that kind of conversation, obviously you apologize, so I'm not going to harp on it, but yeah, do you have any advice for talking to spirits? I think just, you know, slow and steady, knowing what you're getting into. I think that talking to spirits is like, it's like when you want to make a friend, you wouldn't necessarily go into Times Square and just start talking to anybody because you don't know who those people are, right? So it's like I say with spirits, like, or what we transcend to on the other side, it's a matter of knowing and just kind of getting a sense of how you can feel really grounded and making sure that you say like any type of protection prayers or really finding ways to protect yourself or, you know, stand up for yourself in that way is important, you know, but you don't want to open the door to something that feels a little bit like darker or scary. That's why I recommend like starting off with a practitioner that you trust that's teaching mediumship. It would be helpful to do that, you know, and just use your intuition. Like, don't let anybody make you feel like, for me, it's like the power is within all of us to stand up for ourselves. So figuring out what it is that, who's the practitioner that makes you feel good, that your gut is telling you want to go with, is also important too. Hold on. I don't know why you're putting your cash up, but there we go. Yeah, I was not hyper until a few years ago after I broke the board and left it open. Yeah, maybe that's why it's wrong with me. Yeah, I think like I don't touch any Ouija boards or anything like that. I won't touch anything like along those lines personally. But I think, you know, it's important to do. I don't really have like, because I haven't touched them, I haven't been in an experience that I can speak to, or like what people do for any kind of cleansing or things after that. But I would not go to a Ouija board to start talking to spirits, that's for sure. I think this has a certain energetic connotation. I'm a teacher. Oh, I love that, Lucian. Yay. Yeah, I cannot do anything about it now. Permanently open. Yeah. I still try to be a good person. I think so. Yeah. Yeah, it was nice, Ellie. Nice to meet you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for being here, beautiful Virgo. Yeah, have a good day. Aw, yes, thank you, thank you. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, Josh. Yeah, I love my hourglass. I'm gonna flip it again. Yeah, I'm on every day from about 1 to 3:30. I'll be on a little bit later. It's 2:56 p.m. my time. From about 1 p.m. to, I always start around 1 p.m., sometimes earlier, until 3 p.m. or more each day. So if you guys are here around that time, this would be the place for you. I'll be back again tomorrow from 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern. 28, and then we're gonna do 3. Okay. Expensive cars. Yeah, I love like old Porsches. I know the pronunciation is people pronounce it different ways, but I love like the old, like that, specifically that like dark green. But in the Northeast, it's challenging because of all the salt. Oh, school online, or I'll try to make it. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that, Josh. Thank you. I asked a girl for a date and she told me do you have a G-Wagon? I told her I have 2-wheelers. That's my legs to walk, and she ran away. That's crazy. Aw, thank you guys. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, Josh. Welcome. I thank you guys. You're sweet. Hi, H. Welcome. I have to run upstairs and go get a piece of paper. I'll be right back. Yeah. Okay, I am back. With my heated blanket. Okay, hello, welcome back. Oh, Aries, Scorpio rising, I love that. Okay. Let me... Oh, I left my paper upstairs, so I brought this down instead. I made another cup of coffee. Let me figure out... Okay, let me get my papers, and then I'll actually be back. Alrighty. Heated blanket. Yes, I love that. I do too, but today I needed it. It's like, it's been so chilly here, and I have like a little sliding glass door, and it's snowing again, so you can see all the snow. I have all my blankets set up for my cat. He's our live mascot. Benny is my furry boy. He's upstairs because it's too cold for him today too. How do I explain when someone asks, how is the sun sign different from the first house of the self? So your first house of the self, like, is your rising sign. So when you're talking about your rising sign, it's the sign that's coming up over the horizon. So your rising sign is always going to be in the same spot as your descendant, similar to the MC and the IC. IC is the roots, MC is the penultimate peak of your chart. So your rising sign is what's the constellation that's coming up over the horizon, but your sun can be in any house. So it just depends on the configuration of the constellations. So the mathematical component of it. But yeah, your rising sign is your ascendant, or the sign that's ascending over the horizon. So on Tuesday, my video for tonight is my blue sweater video. Yeah. No, it's okay, Josh. It was nice to meet you. I'll see you again soon, hopefully. I hope you have a great rest of your day, my hyper Leo. I do, yeah. Thank you, you too. Aries, Scorpio ascendant. Yes, I was talking to you, Josh. Yeah, we were talking about your placements. Happy almost birthday. It'll be here before we know it. So your sun is in the 10th house. So really, I don't know. So really allowing yourself to feel like very tied to your career. Bye. So nice to meet you. I love that, yin lady. But yeah, balancing your impulsiveness too is important as a Aries. Not moving too quickly. Oh, Aquarius. Happy birthday, Nikki. And then Aries rising. Yeah, I get a lot of Aries placements too because I talk really fast. So you guys are good to be able to keep up. Some people ask me to slow down. I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The rising is like how you show up. Yes. Yes. And I think like you're rising, like I am a Pisces sun, but think about how in most of the areas that you see me publicly, I'm very Aquarian, like sometimes violently Aquarian. So it's like, even though you can see my sensitivity, I am like, I can have a lot of masculine energy, although I'm also very feminine. And that's the interplay between having a Pisces sun also conjunct my Venus, but then my Aquarius rising. So like when I'm like really have to lock in and like I'm really like I take myself seriously, right? Like my rising sign and that detachment is what people feel more so. But like more so like the closer you are to me, the more I let those people in my life see more of my emotional side, because that's the version of me that relationship requires, essentially. So, you know, our rising sign is also like how our generally appear, but I do. And then my sun is like my general, it's like my warmth, like why you guys feel like everyone feels like recognized and understood, or the impression that people have of me is that like because I come across with that energy. I do use turmeric. I love turmeric. They think that because I present very Venusian that I don't have it in me to set a harsh boundary. So like nothing is more fun than when people think that I'm one way and then I'm like, no, actually I can be very firm. You know, like I know how to use the blend of that Saturnian energy, but also that like Jupiterian Venusian. I say Venusian because my sun conjunct my sun. Is what that's why I also attract a lot of Libras too. My background is very Venusian, right? So it's like looking at that interplay is important. And then I'm a Scorpio moon, so it's like it's why I remember Tarun, I remember Josh, I know Nikki, you know, Deanna, like there I remember Nick, like I have all these people that I'll remember because of my Scorpio moon. And then wherever your rising sign is will tell you the configuration, which I think is another good point too, Deanna, to remind people. Your rising sign tells you the configuration of where all the houses are. So that being important. But yeah. Turmeric milk, yes, it is. It is. It's very big in like we say like hipster, but like hipster Brooklyn as well. But a turmeric milk latte are very, very good. The first time I had one was like 10 years ago in this neighborhood of Brooklyn called Williamsburg when I was working there. Between today and tomorrow, I'll also be posting the Patreon events for February, Deanna, and for anyone else that's in Patreon. Deanna, do Sundays, or I think Saturday, this Saturday I'm going to do the full moon circle. That's what I'm trying to decide right now. Gemini, welcome. I was saying earlier, Geminis, you guys are like, we need a Gemini. You need a Gemini on your trivia team. Geminis are really good at remembering really random facts or like a little bit about everything. Medical is expensive in the US. Just to give birth, they really try. It's because it's a business. You know, it's like anything is a business in a capitalistic society. Yeah, it makes sense. How can I get my Patreon started back up? So if you go onto like patreon.com, you should be able to just go ahead and like sign up via the same username and log back in. It should let you. I think because are you still a free member of the community? It should just give you an option to upgrade. But you have my email in case you have any issues. I can help you up like that way too. I'm just going to check really quick. Oh, if Saturday. Okay, yeah, absolutely. Does Saturday work for you for like this Saturday work for you for the full moon circle, or do Sundays work better? Oh, for birth, what was you saying? You don't have government hospitals? Yeah, well, like giving birth is so expensive. Like to go to there's a lot of women that have started going to or like doing at home births in the U.S. because like giving birth in a hospital is so expensive. Okay, what was I doing? Let me open up my editing app again, and then I want to import. Hi, Benny, you coming to join us? That I didn't have yet. What is the folder? Untitled. Okay. Okay. I don't know if are government hospitals a thing? Like, is that that's out of my? I don't know the actual. Nick, you're so funny. You're like, pay attention to me, please. You don't have free. Yeah, no, free healthcare is not free. We pay like so for usually for people who work in a job, your healthcare money is like taken out of your paycheck, and then you can sometimes like most people have what's called a copay. So insurance will cover a certain portion, but you always have to pay something when you go see a doctor. That's a whole like legal conversation. Unfortunately. Excuse me. I wish it was free. I know. Yeah, $25. Yes. How to escape the matrix using astrology. How much time do you have? Josh, I'll have to make a longer video about that. But I like that terminology. I'll make that video for you. Yeah, 200 is taken out of my paycheck with the $20 copay, $25 copay. Exactly. It's so crazy. Yeah, very deceitful. Yeah. Hi, FLX. Welcome. Yeah. It's so wild. You know, we're starting to see some... It gets worse before it gets better, but some positive changes. Like, I'm cautiously optimistic. That's for sure. Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you like it. I have a few more minutes and then I have to hop off because I actually have a meeting or a client call at 3:30 my time. So I will hop on another call and then I will be back on again tomorrow. I'm a Pisces. Oh, what is the sun sign? The sun sign is the zodiac sign associated with your sun placement in astrology. Aw, thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. I'm sure you're equally as beautiful. I guess only singers, superstars are really rich. Not necessarily. There are people who are so wealthy you don't even know who they are. But I think that's the misconception, is that people only think that, like, in order to be rich, you have to be famous, which isn't true. You can get rich by doing other things behind the scenes. There are people who are so wealthy from, you know, oil, for example, that they don't have to be famous. They just got in early, you know, in the industry. So we see that too. Bye, Josh. See you next time. Have a good day. Leo. So Leo, you guys, like, you're going to get attention. Oh yeah. That's amazing. Dubai. Welcome, Kartik. Welcome back. Yeah, Deanna, I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you. Of course. Absolutely. I'm happy to help. Thanks for asking all the good questions. Thank you. Yes, I'm in the New York area. Yep. It's nice to be, I'm like between New York and Philly. Right, meeting of the minds in the middle. More suburban. But yeah, I'm going to pause there. I will be back on tomorrow. Thank you, Tarun. Thank you. But I'm going to be back on tomorrow. So hello and goodbye. Sorry to those of you who came in a little bit later. I want to pivot over so that I can make sure I can be there for my client. Thank you, Jackson. And give her the grounding that she needs to be able to help her with a little bit of a strategy. But if you guys want to subscribe, thank you, Nikki. I'll see you next time. I will see you guys tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then I'll be on there. So I'll see you guys. Have a beautiful rest of your day or night, wherever you are in the world. I appreciate you, and I will see you later.